We have a disaster in Syria that just happened this week. Reuters reports at least 33 people were killed in an airstrike that hit a school sheltering displaced people near the Islamic State-held city of Raqqa, a group that monitors the war in Syria, said on Wednesday. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said it believed the strike was carried out by the U.S.-led coalition against the Islamic State. Observatory activists had counted at least 33 bodies at the site near the village of Al-Mansoura, west of Raqqa. Observatory Director Rami Abdulrahman told Reuters the airstrike took place on Monday night. He said the U.S.-led coalition had escalated its aerial campaign against the militant group around Raqqa this month, causing numerous civilian casualties, Abdulrahman said. The nearest Islamic State installation to the site of the airstrike was a religious school about 1.9 miles away. Okay, so this is far too common in Syria and elsewhere in the Middle East, but in Syria specifically, so there's been countless stories of Russia, for example, bombing civilian centers. That's happened. There's been countless stories of the U.S. bombing civilian centers. So, perhaps the best way to approach it is for Russia to get the fuck out and the U.S. to get the fuck out, because I don't know why we're there in the first place. I don't know why we're there. There's no direct threat against the U.S. coming out of Syria. And furthermore, we admit it is openly our policy that we don't like either side in this civil war. So the U.S. says we don't like Assad, we don't like the Syrian government, because they have alliances with Hezbollah, for example, and they have an alliance with Iran, who we don't like, and they have an alliance with Russia. And so for geopolitical reasons, among other reasons, they say, and Assad's a terrible dictator, so, we don't like the Syrian government side of the war. But then also they admit at times, hey, we don't like the rebels either, because the rebels are over 60% Islamist extremists and jihadists. So you have, al-Nusra, who changed their name because they were officially connected to al-Qaeda, and they wanted Western support. So they said, no, we're not with al-Qaeda anymore. Now we changed our name. Are you buying this? So you have ISIS in there, you have al-Qaeda in there, you have other various factions of jihadist groups. So if official U.S. policy is, we don't like the Syrian government, and we don't like the rebels, then why the fuck are you involved? Why are you involved? What are you going to do? What are you going to go bomb both sides? Is that what you want to do? Maybe further escalate to a bigger conflict with Russia as a result of that? Why would you be there? Why would you be there? Well, ISIS is really bad. Okay, well, it's not like there aren't people there fighting ISIS already. It's not like there aren't Shia militias fighting ISIS and moderate Sunnis fighting ISIS and the Kurds fighting ISIS. There are people fighting ISIS. So why would we waste our money and our weaponry and put our people on the line when, admittedly, we don't like both sides? I mean, think about how crazy that is. You see a fight going on, you don't like either side, and you're like, I will now get involved and start punching people. Why? And then as a result of that, this happens from time to time. Whoops, we killed 33 civilians. Freedom and democracy. Well, doesn't everybody love America? Why don't you love America? I don't understand. Why are you so mad at us? It's not like we just killed 33 people. And they always say this too. This happened in Afghanistan, where they killed, I think, over 30 people in the bombing of the Kunduz hospital. They said, no, we needed to attack because we heard the Taliban was there. Well, it turns out the Taliban wasn't there, and you just massacred civilians. So think about it. The argument they make is, we need to stay in Afghanistan to protect the civilian population from the Taliban. But you just massacred the civilian population in a bombing. So their argument is, we have to stay there to, protect the hospitals from being slaughtered by these savages. Obviously, we're the only ones who should do the hospital slaughtering. Again, look, whenever you leave Afghanistan, the Taliban's going to be resurgent. So it's a matter of if you rip off the Band-Aid now or if you rip it off in 80 years. But they're going to be resurgent. There's nothing you can do about that to fight that. So you got to get out sometime, unless you want to just keep blowing money and resources there while our infrastructure gets a grade of D+ at home and we got people in poverty and homeless over here. So you pull out now, Syria, same thing. You don't like both sides. Why are you there? Well, apparently you're there to fucking kill civilians, which again is going to lead to more hatred and backlash against the United States. It's just not, don't do it, man. Don't do it. Just get out. It's unnecessary. This is the military-industrial complex that's taken over our government, and they keep escalating everywhere, and they don't care about the consequences because it's more about the bottom line.